Hey, good morning, all. It is, Monday, October 30. So we're sneaking up on November, our last Monday morning message of October. Relatively short calendar. Uh, so let me just kind of dive in. We've got some exciting things happening this week, but a relatively normal week until Friday, leaf raking day. And we'll talk about that in just a second. All right, let's dive in here. So we've got the calendar. We've got a seventh grade shadow student today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're glad you're here. And then we've got a couple of sixth grade shadow students on Thursday. So exciting times for our shadows. So we are glad you're here. Eligibility is in full force. That starts tomorrow. Mr. Hanson is managing that, so he'll be meeting with you as needed. And then tonight is the choir concert, and that is at 6:30 in the PAC. Cannot wait. It's been awesome having chapels in there, and now I'm looking forward to having another choir concert in there. So anyway, that is tonight at 6:30. Speaking of which, choir typically does not meet on Mondays. Choir is going to meet today. Band students, you have the same schedule, so no change with band. General music students, you will have your Wednesday study hall today. Okay, so choir concert. Because of the choir concert tonight, we are adding some extra rehearsals in there. And so again, choir, you have choir today. General music, you have study hall. On Wednesday, it's going to be general music has class, choir has study hall. In addition to that, in the last few minutes sixth hour, sixth hour, so about 2:05 or so, choir is going to head down to the PAC for a full sixth through eighth grade choir rehearsal, and that'll wrap up, and you'll head back to Bible um, at about 2:25 or so. So you're going to miss the last part of last about 10 minutes of sixth hour and the first 10 plus minutes of seventh hour. Okay, so hopefully that's clear as mud to you. Um, your teachers have it in their weekly communication with the details as well. So if you have any questions, you can ask them. Okay, on my list, let's see. Checkpoint, the new session for Checkpoint starts. So remember, that's a club. We go to Checkpoint. So that starts next week. There's a Tuesday morning session and a Wednesday morning and Wednesday afternoon session. There's those details there. So again, under clubs, Checkpoint, and then click here to register. Okay, so those typically fill up pretty quick, but just because they're so valuable and helpful. So anyway, so that is that. So strongly encourage those. I know that the students that have done it have really benefited from it. And then just another promo, there's a Lego club that's starting, but it doesn't start till after Christmas. So I just wanted to keep that in front of us. The Lego club starts after Christmas. And let me see okay. All right, so let's talk about leaf raking day. I'm going to pull that up. So obviously the weather is interesting, but it's supposed to get warm quick. And so we are hoping and assuming that the weather is going to cooperate and melt this snow. So I'm hoping, since it was the first snow, that the ground was warm. There's plenty of, it's not frozen, so there's plenty of air and space for the snow to melt into the grass. So that's our hope. Okay, and we are assuming that's going to happen. We will obviously keep an eye on the melt. I'm over here in Centennial, so I'm about 25 minutes from school, southeast of school, and I've got a good 6 inches or so over here of snow. So we'll see. We'll just keep an eye on it. Okay, but we're going to assume that it's a go. All right. Drivers, I've got plenty of drivers, although I've got a couple of you that reached out this morning about being a driver. I might just add you. You might only end up with one lawn, but that means you can be a rover and a helper. And so I'll keep you posted on that. I'm going to send out some emails to our leaf raking drivers in the next day or so, just with updates and making sure that they're on my distribution list and the remind group and all that good stuff. All right. Last thing is cleanup crew, and let me just hold on just a second. Okay. I had to update this list real quick. We have a few folks that didn't quite fulfill their duties last week, so you have been added to this list. So it's a fairly lengthy list of dining hall cleanup crew folks, but that just means it'll be quicker. So the list that Mrs. Nielsen creates is going to have all these students on it. Just, you know, when you miss so many days, you got to pitch in. Everybody's got to do their part. Everybody's got to do their part. So if you don't do it, 1 week, then you just kind of make up for it the next. So you're on that group now. All right. All right. Church was awesome. So I think I've mentioned before that that I'm on like, I don't know if you call it a committee. I'm in a group, probably just a group. Committee sounds pretty official. So a group that has the honor and pleasure of meeting with our pastor every other week, and we talk about the verses that are coming up. So they're about a month out. And so about a month ago, we talked about these verses, Matthew 13:44 through 46. And it's a parable. Okay, so it's another story to illustrate a point. Okay. And basically, it's about these two men that one finds a treasure, hides it. One is seeking the treasure, finds it, hides it. But then eventually they sell it all. Like they gather everything they've got, including the treasure they found, whatever they had in their house, and they just sold it all for the kingdom. And I mean your phone, your gaming system, your computer, your zillions of clothes and all your favorite shoes. I mean, you name it. Imagine you're selling it all. You're just get for the kingdom. So put yourself in that spot, right? You literally sell it all. So that's what these two dudes did. Because they're like, the treasure of heaven is worth that. So imagine that. I haven't done that. I've sacrificed a lot, but I haven't given it all up. So I mean, these two dudes went all in, way more than me. And so anyway, and it's not just the missionary, right? We think of a missionary as someone that goes out and literally sacrifices all the comforts we have here to live in Africa or live in Denver or live somewhere in the state of Colorado, wherever, but to be a missionary and to serve. And we have some families that do that they have made incredible sacrifices to serve others. And so it's amazing what they've done. So that's the thing here. Okay. So let me just kind of move forward onto the point that I learned. We want it all, right? We want everything and we don't want to give up anything. So we want everything over here, but yeah, we want this relationship with Jesus. So we're not willing to sacrifice anything. Maybe the words that we use, right? So if you don't think of it as possessions, but the words that we use, the content that we text or post, what we look at online, the words we talk, we say when we're out with our friends, or whatever. I want to sleep in instead of go to church and further my relationship with Jesus, right? So we make all these sacrifices. And hey, believe me, I'm not perfect here. So I'm right. I'm in the trenches here with you. So what we always said to our children is when you say yes to one thing, you're essentially saying no to something else, right? So When our daughter decided to play club soccer, and at a pretty high level, she had to say no to other things. She had to say no to other things. And that was really tough. And eventually, as a senior, she said no to club soccer, senior in high school at Denver Christian. Yes to wanting to play volleyball because she grew up playing volleyball too. Yes to playing volleyball at Denver Christian. And it turned out great. They won a state championship, but that's not why it was great. The great part was it was an amazing experience with her friends that she had not had prior because she had said yes to soccer. Now soccer was great, but she played basketball. So they said another thing was they said, well, if you want to play high school basketball, then you have to give up winter training, and then you have to retry out. She did that every year because playing basketball at Denver Christian was more important than year-round soccer. My son, same thing, right? He had to make sacrifices. So moving forward, um, okay, here we go. Moving forward. Sorry, here's my notes. So the question is, what do you value? What are you willing to give up? What do you value and what are you willing to give up for a relationship with Jesus? Are you willing to wake up in the morning on Sunday and go to church or Saturday night? Are you willing to give that up? You gain so much. That's the thing. When you give up this stuff to be with Jesus and be in relationship with Jesus, what you gain is unreal. It's unreal. It's unmatched. It's worth the sacrifice. It's worth the sacrifice. The old habits, the old language, maybe a friendship that's not healthy, whatever. But it is so worth it to give this, whatever is up, whatever you need to give up to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. All right, y'all. We'll see you later. Oh, by the way, I'm not at school right now. I'll be there later. I have a meeting with a contractor, actually Courtesy Electric, Case Curtis's dad's company. So they're doing some lights. I'm selling my house. So anyway, that's why I'm not there at school just yet. We'll see you there. Bye.